Right, I've got to press OK, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I'll keep an eye on the
Okay, yeah.
feedback. I'll keep an eye on the right. It's cool. So I'll keep an eye on the chat box whilst we're talking.
Oh, look, it's come up.
We're live. It's you.
I know.
Excellent. Okay, welcome everyone. Feel like it's been a long time since I've done this, but here we are. Welcome to our live and the podcast. If you're listening to it on a podcast, I'm joined today. Really excited about this. I'm joined by Nissa. Nissa is the owner of Cloud Canine Professional Grooming. Welcome, Nissa.
Hi.
How you doing?
Yeah, all good, thank you.
Now we can do this today on a Friday because you've given up Fridays, haven't you? You stopped
Yeah.
working Fridays.
Yeah, I love it.
How's that? 4-day week now, haven't you?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah, 4-day week.
we'll talk about that a bit later because you've worked hard to get down to your 4-day week. So tell us about Cloud Canine Professional Grooming. What services do you offer and how long have you owned the business for?
Yeah, so we've been opened, we're almost 2 years, so it was like May 2022. We're a home-based salon. I've got an apprentice now, so I started on my own. Did that for about a year on my own, then decided to get an apprentice, which has been a really good decision. We offer all sorts of services, all sorts of dog grooming. We take large dogs. We do teeth cleaning. We do spa treatments like de-shedding, mud spas. We've really started pushing the Ayurveda as well, the skin treatments. Standalone nail clips. We do cat nail clips now. So yeah, lots.
You're kind of coming into that. I put a post out this morning on the business group, didn't I, about being that one-stop shop sort of pet health hub, and you're kind of creating that with your business, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. Going to be doing the cat grooming soon as well.
So 2 years in, you started in May 22. So what did you do before you were a pet groomer?
I was a teacher, primary school teacher.
It'd be half term next week for you.
Yeah, I know. I just saw that. One of my old TAs messaged me this morning. She was like, "Oh, can we meet up next week?"
Okay, good. So tell me about your decision to go into teaching. Was that from like leaving secondary school or leaving university? Did you go to university to become a teacher?
Yeah, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just hadn't got a clue. Mum, Dad were like, "You've got to go to uni, you're 18." And I was like, yeah, uni sounds great, but I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah.
I've always loved animals, but I never went into that. I did school placements. You know, when you're at school, you do placements. I used to go to schools and I could be a teacher, you know. But even at uni, I did journalism to start with.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I did a year of journalism. I hated it. Went into education and I was at uni for 5 years. So I just really didn't know what I wanted to do.
You just kept enrolling onto new courses.
Yeah. And then I did my PGC and thought, right, let's get a stable job, you know, like people tell you to do, get some stability, it's a good profession. So I was like, okay, yeah, all right, let's go into teaching. So yeah, I did that for 7 years.
So what was it like? What did you enjoy about teaching and what didn't you find enjoyable about it?
Well, what I liked about it, I like that every day is different. It's nice to make a positive change to children and teach them new things. Like, you know, that bit is enjoyable. There's so many negatives though, like could go on for hours, but
Okay.
Just a lot of just extra work just all the time. So like you're just not getting your evenings, you're just not getting your weekends, a lot of politics involved, a lot of new policies come in that never get looked at. And it's just getting really hard work. You get bogged down and just in a depressive little hole.
Yeah. So how was your obviously I've come from a public sector background. How was your sort of your mental health and you know, how was it affecting your mental health and your relationships and family?
Yeah, it wasn't great because you go into the environment and everybody just seems to hate it when they're there, and you're just around sort of not toxic people, but people that bring you down, and you're probably bringing them down as well. But
Yeah.
oh, you just always be looking for the half terms. So you'd always be counting down the half terms, 6 weeks to go, 5 weeks to go. You'd be counting down to Fridays. You'd be Sunday, like it used to be the Sunday night dread, but then it would just be the Sunday dread. So then you hate the Sundays.
Yeah.
And then you just like worried about what you're going to walk into. And yeah, it wasn't great towards the end. Yeah. I'd wanted to leave for a few years.
That Sunday night dread, I can remember that as a child, like waiting to go to school the next day. So to then having completed school and then having to go back and revisit that Sunday night dread as a teacher, that can't have been a nice thing at all.
No, I didn't used to enjoy it at all. No, I'd wanted to leave for a few years, but again, I was like, what do I do? Like the pay was well, looking back, I used to think the pay was good. But now I look back and think it was okay. What can I do? Obviously, I've always loved animals, but you'd look for jobs and you'd think, oh, that pays like peanut. I'd be taking like, an 8 grand pay drop or something. Like, I can't pay the mortgage and everything on that. So that's when I thought, well, maybe I need to do my own business then.
That's interesting, isn't it? So, well, how, if you don't mind sharing, how much were you earning like monthly when you left the teaching profession?
What was it monthly? So yearly it was about 38. I'd left on about 38k.
Yeah.
So I think roughly about 2 grand,
Yeah.
just slightly over.
After
To take
pension
home.
and
Yeah,
tax
that
and
was
everything.
take home. I think it was like 3 something, but obviously there's take loads for tax and everything. So about
So,
2 grand.
so what sort of jobs were you looking at, like kennel hands or working in vets, those sort of jobs, or?
Yeah, just like anything to do with animals, especially in particular dogs. But yeah, like just daycare. Looked at dog walking, and I thought, I don't know if I could do dog walking. You've got to be out in the elements all day, every day. I was like, I don't like the cold. Like, I don't know if I could do that. Like, fully respect the ones that do, but
Yeah.
So then, I mean, I've always been quite creative. I did art at A level and everything, and I thought let's have a look at grooming.
Okay. So, and did you share any of these ideas with your teacher friends and colleagues? Because I remember
No,
I was talking to people within the police service about leaving. It was like, oh my God, you want to leave? You want to leave this, like, there's life outside of our job?
yeah,
What are you talking about? Did you find any of that? Was there, well, don't do that, Nissa. How are you going to pay your mortgage and stuff
I
like that?
didn't. To be honest, I didn't really tell anyone until
Right.
I'd already started the dog grooming course. I was like, I'm not going to say anything, and then I started to tell like my close friends and a couple of close TAs that I'm really close with. But yeah, they were really supportive actually.
That's good.
And they were like, yeah, like just go for it. So yeah, but like I think my mum at the start was a bit like, oh, are you sure? But I mean, to be fair, she was quite supportive. But
Do you have
yeah,
anyone else? Do you have any other sort of entrepreneurs within your family? Anyone else that runs their own business? Anyone that you were able to turn to and ask for advice?
a little bit. My cousin actually started. My cousin's the same age as me, and he started a business doing meal prep down in London. But he was like in a partnership with a few other people, like doing PTs and that sort of thing. But he's actually stepped back. He stepped away from it because it wasn't profitable. So now he's gone into another job. So we did bounce ideas off each other. I hope he one day goes back into it because he'd be really good. But other than no, my dad passed away just before we got married. But he wanted to take on a business. I think I was about 7, so they bought a garage because he loves cars and he'd always loved cars and stuff like that. So he took on a garage, and apparently, like the bank manager and all the people were like, you're not business minded. Like to my dad, he was like, you should not take on a business.
Right.
And to be fair, they were absolutely right. Like dad did not do great at that. But then he did go self-employed, and he'd fix computers for people. Excellent. So he did go off and do that, and he was self-employed.
So there's a bit of inspiration there.
A little, yeah.
You could see that it was possible to go self-employed and support your family and things like that.
Yeah.
That's good. So did you start your dog groomer training whilst employed as a teacher? Did you do it on your days off and terms?
Yeah. I worked it around school, so I do it in half terms. I do it on Saturdays, and I think it took about 8 months in total.
How did you find that, breaking it all up? Did you find that is there skill fade when you sort of, if you did like a Saturday and then you go back to the following Saturday, do you find you have to relearn a little bit, or were you just picking it up quite?
A little bit at the start, but no, I just picked it up as I went along. I had a really good trainer. We're really good friends now, so that's brilliant. And I'll still ask her for advice and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it wasn't too bad at the start. I remember, like, I think it was like, because you do that 30 days, I did the level 3 iPet diploma.
Yeah.
It was like 4 days in, and I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. Like, what? And they're talking to me about the scissor in the legs, and I'm like, I can't see what I'm supposed to scissor. Like, I don't understand. That was proper overwhelm.
Yeah.
But then after that, I was like, no, okay, it's okay, like, just chill. But I was tired because I'd obviously have to teach all week as well, and mark and do that. But I knew it was going to be for a good thing.
Yeah, and you're like, we're now looking at someone like yourself who is proper driven, because you could see, yes, it's going to be hard work. Yes, I've got other stuff going on, but this is a means to an end, and this is going to get me out of hopefully get me to a place where I want to be. So hats off to you to stick with it and chasing your goals and your dreams, I suppose.
Yeah.
So how did you tell me how it worked then? You graduated, you got your level 3. Did you leave teaching straight away? Had you left teaching by then? Had you still set up your salon? What was the sort of timeline there?
Oh God, I've got to think back. So yeah, so I enrolled onto the course, started the course. No, well, I had told my husband before I started this, and I told my mum and
Yeah,
stuff.
what did he say? What did he say about it?
Yeah, he was like, yeah, let's do it, because I wanted to do it in the garage, like convert our garage. And he was like, no, you're not doing it in a garage. Like, that's not happening. We need to get something built. So then we looked at different builders and stuff like that, and we were like, where are we going to get all this money from? I managed to get a £8,000 interest-free loan from a charity, Leicester. I had to do Zoom calls with them and write a business plan and everything, and so that was brilliant. And then we had some savings as well. So then we decided to build a like proper building, like breeze block, rendered. At the bottom, we've got a really long garden, so right at the bottom of the garden. So all like purpose built. John's got a little bed on the side.
I bet he has. And how did it go with the planning permission? Was that quite difficult to go through? And did you help with that?
Yeah, we did have help, because our like best friends, he's an architectural technologist, so this is what he does, like, as his job. So he did all our plans for us. We did put them up for a few months when they were moving, so like we do little favors for each other. But yeah, so he did all the plans, put it through. We didn't need planning permission. I spoke to the council, and they said you need certificate of lawful use.
Yeah.
So we went down that route, and then everything was fine. Got the planning. That the planning permission for the unit took only six weeks, which was good. Whereas our house planning permissions took a year. So, but I suppose that was full planning. But and then when did they start work? So I think they started work in the January of 2022.
So you're fully committed now. You doing your grooming course in your grooming studio was being put up.
Yeah, it was being put up in January. I'd actually handed my notice in to leave at Easter, so to leave around April time of that year, ready to go.
Yeah.
Then something happened at school with one of the other teachers, and to keep it consistent with reception, the head teacher asked me to stay on till the summer. So I was a bit like, but in hindsight, I am glad I did, because the salon wasn't ready till May anyway. Okay. So it would have been a bit, so I did it part-time at the start, and then I went full-time like July.
Cool. So so you managed to get a loan from your local council, was it? Was that like
it's a charity in Leicester that help support small businesses. James Riddleson charity in Leicester. Nice. And they offer out loans to small businesses, as long as you've got a business plan, and I suppose they like you, and they like your business, and they said they hadn't invested in a business before, like a dog grooming business.
So that £8,000, obviously you're probably still paying that off, but that's a significant amount of money, isn't it? How did you feel about taking finance and using savings? How did you get over the sort of risk element, or did you just not give any thought to that and just thought, no?
Do you know what? Honestly, we just save all the time, because basically we saved for the house deposit, we saved for the wedding, so we just were on the habit of just saving all this money every month. So that was okay. But the risk element, I kind of thought, well, do you know what? Because it's a purpose-built building, it's going to add value to the property.
Yeah.
So if we do sell the property and house, we are actually going to get something back for that. So I was like, that makes it seem a bit okay. And then I did think, if it all goes to pot, I can do supply work.
Yes, you've got a skill for life, which is teaching.
Yeah.
Well, you've got two skills now: dog grooming and
That's
or
it.
pet grooming and teaching. So
Yeah.
and it's very similar to my wife Emma. She came out of the veterinary industry. They refused to allow her to do her training whilst working at the vets. They refused to allow her to set up or go in partnership with her as a groomer alongside the vet. So she just had to resign. Did a 30-day course, but whilst building the business, she just went and mucked out stables in the mornings and stuff like that. So you've got to have that kind of attitude about you. You've got to make it work, haven't you?
Yeah. You've just got to do it. You've got to go for it.
Yeah. So all set up. Tell us about your name, Cloud Canine Professional Grooming. How did you come up with your name, and where did you go for your branding? What thought did you put into your branding? Because it from the very start, it looks so professional, doesn't it?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so Cloud Canine. So I've got a Samyard, white fluffy Samyard. But before that, I was just bouncing ideas, and I'd heard something about, if you have your name starting with A, it comes to the top of Google or whatever. Is that a myth? I have no idea.
I mean, we're A to Z animal care, but when we set up in 2005, that was Yellow Pages territory, So you could get those Yellow Pages delivered to the door. So we always wanted to be at the front of the animal section. So that was why we sort of came up with our name. But yeah, so you're saying you're bouncing names around.
Yeah, I was just talking to different people about names, and then I was like, oh, Cloud9, that sounds quite heavenly, like to be on Cloud9. Then it was like Cloud Canine, and then I thought, oh, my fluffy Samyard, she is a cloud basically, she can go on the logo. I do really enjoy grooming double coated dogs as well. So, I didn't want a dog on there that I don't enjoy grooming. I do want something that is relevant. I didn't know colours at all until my mum said, I think I wanted sage, because I quite like sage. And then I was like, oh, maybe a bit lilac, not sure. And then I did a lot of research into colours as well, and the meanings behind colours and what they represent. And then mum was like, oh, well, if you're going with Cloud Canine, really, do you not want a pastel blue? Because it's like sky, Cloud Canine, like heaven. And I was like, actually, that does make sense. Thanks, mum.
Shout out to mum.
I looked into blue, because then I was like, I compare it with the navy, and navy is a quite royal colour. And it's renowned for royalty and all that sort of thing. And I was like, oh, that'll go in with the luxury feel. Yeah. But blue can be also quite calming, quite a nice neutral calming, and we want to be calm when we're grooming dogs. So yeah.
So you've just given everyone there a very quick lesson in bright colours. Haven't you?
It's really interesting though.
Yeah, who'd have thought? We went down the sort of green route with the veterinary connection. Vet nurses wore green, green scrubs and stuff. And green can also so it's expensive and luxury, as well as the blue that you sort of chose.
Yeah. And green's quite natural and natural products and all that sort of thing, isn't it? That green ethos, yeah.
So everything is sky blue, kind of. Is there a particular name for the colour? It's just sky blue,
powder blue, almost. Yeah. It's a bit powdery, sky blue, and then navy, yeah, and then bits of gold. Well, we're going to redecorate the salon in March, and that's going to have some gold in it as well.
Nice. So did you reach out to anyone particular to design your logo and do your website, or?
No, I did. I've done my logo myself.
Okay.
Which I may need to have a look at in the future because I know that but using Canva.
Okay, it's a Canva logo. We know that, we know what the pitfalls of that, but
I know.
it's a good logo though. When if people go and look at it, you wouldn't spot that as a Canva logo. And did you
It took ages to design. It took me a
yeah.
while.
So this was probably your first trip into Canva.
Yeah. It took me ages. I kept going back to it as well. I didn't just was like, there's a logo done. It was like weeks. Kept going back to it. I show people. Can you read that writing? Is it dark enough? Is it that? Can you see the dog? I don't know, all that sort of thing. I didn't want it cartoony because I think cartoony you can be a little bit cheap. Sorry for anyone who's got that, but I don't know. That's just
it wasn't the look that you were going for as
part. Yeah, I didn't want cartoony. I didn't want something with really swirly writing that people couldn't read.
Yeah.
Just wanted something like classy and yeah.
Did you give any thought then about who you wanted to attract into your business and the kind of people that you wanted to work with?
No, not really.
Kind of like winging it and making it up as you go along kind of thing.
Yeah, basically. I didn't know. And it wasn't actually until my first call with you where, I don't know if you remember this, you were saying about the logo and had I done it myself. And then you asked me about clients and I said, you said, have you had any, not very nice clients or, people just looking around for the cheapest and stuff? And I was like, no, actually, it's been quite positive, really. And then you said it's probably because your branding is so good that you're sort of weeding out a lot of the the people. Yeah.
I encourage people to go and look you up on Facebook, Cloud K9 Professional Grooming. It straight away it strikes you as high-end, professional, classy, kind of luxury grooming. So if you do have someone in the lower price bracket that comes onto your page and looks at that, or even your website, then potentially you are kind of telling them you can't afford me, which isn't a bad thing, because you're also saying to other people that the higher end of the pricing scale, come and use me, come and use our services because we are there for you. We're the professional luxury, groomers.
But I hadn't thought about it until you said it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh
yeah. you're weeding out the rubbish straight away. So did you just go to a normal sort of web designer? How did you decide?
No, I website myself as well.
Wow. How was that? What was that experience like?
That took ages as well. God, that did take a long time. But I can go on and edit it quite easily now. Like I've got scripts of it and everything. But yeah, that took a lot of evenings. Yeah.
And writing the words, I often find, there's quite a lot of sort of thinking about what to write, and is that correct, and does it sound right? I bet that must have taken a while to write the copy.
Yeah, it did. It took, I don't know how long it took, but it took. I did it all before it started, so that was like an evening job. But yeah, I quite like making things though. I quite like social media. I quite like doing stuff like that. So it doesn't really. Yeah, I know some people don't enjoy it at all. So yeah.
No. So tell us about your doors are open, and what was the first dog that you groomed? Can you remember? And how much?
It was a Labrador cross called Peggy. Yeah, and I think it was on a Saturday because at that point I was still teaching, so I was doing Saturdays. And I was like, I remember saying to my husband, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. What if I say the wrong thing? What about the dog won't get in the bath? What about? And he's like, it'll be fine.
Yeah, if you're like tutor on speed dial, ready questions.
Yeah, basically. But obviously it was a short coat, so it was like a nice bath and dry, nail trim. So yeah, no, and then just started to. At the start, was so busy actually, with so many inquiries. And then it comes in like peaks and troughs, doesn't it? You get a bit less, but then you'll get a month where you get lots more.
Can you remember how much your first sort of prices were? How much you charged for Peggy? Was it Peggy your first?
I don't remember how. Probably around the 30 something mark, 30 to 33 maybe.
Okay, wow. So Tell us, when you did your business plan, and obviously you're coming away from a profession where you're employed, you're earning around £38,000 a year. Did you put into your business plan what you expected to be earning and what you thought you'd be realistically earning? Did you look at
Yeah,
figures?
I think I put something like, so yeah, so I left on about 38 and I thought, I was like, I think in my head I was like, I'll be happy if I earn 25 in the first year, and then 30 in the next year, or 35 or something like that in the second year. So yeah, but then pricing wise, like for dogs, I was kind of going off what your trainer charges, what other people, and wasn't necessarily looking at other dog groomers in the area. I've never really done that anyway, but yeah, just winging it a bit at the start.
So when you started charging like £30, £33, £35 for your Labrador crosses and stuff, was there a point where it kind of dawned on you going, how am I going to make this 25,000? I'm going to have to do like loads and loads of dogs.
Yeah.
Is there a point where you just think, this is going to be hard. This is going to be hard work.
Yeah. There was lots of points. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Yeah. And then, yeah, I can't remember what like the Shih Tzus were like. Oh, I don't know, like 38 maybe, might have been 40. Which I know is higher than some people even charge now, but like, yeah, I was still like, oh, it's taking me hours. I can't keep doing this.
Yeah. So I take it you're getting to the end of the day having groomed 3 to 4 dogs, were you thinking, is that it? Is that all the money that I'm getting?
Yeah. I'd wanted 150 a day, but I can't remember what it was, about 110 or something I'd come out with a day or something like that. Yeah.
And was it tiring?
Yeah.
At least you didn't have any marking to do though.
No, I much preferred it. Like, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So what was the conversations like with you and your family and your husband about, how's it going? Were they always asking you were they asking about how much money you were making and is it going okay?
Yeah, they do. They say it's quite interesting now when they ask me like, they're like, how's it going? And actually, it's really interesting when I speak to my teacher friends and stuff, and they're like, oh, are you making the same amount as what you were doing as a teacher? And I'm like, yeah, actually, like quite a bit more than that. They're like, oh, and then I'm like, yeah, well, I'm actually doing 4 days a week. And they're like, oh my god, 4 days a week, and you're earning more and stuff. So then
Excellent.
they're quite shocked. They're like, oh my god.
There is, when you come out of the public sector, when I was in the police, and it is actually something that drives me actually, is that everyone kind of has that, I think, I'm a bit paranoid, and everyone has that expectation that you're going to either come back, they'll be back in 6 months, they'll be back in a year, or you go and find another job. And that is one of the drivers for me is that, no, and I do speak to some of my old colleagues and like, yeah, I'm glad I'm left and this is what I'm doing and I'm keep going.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm never
Yeah.
going back.
No, never going back. I've said that to so many people. Never going back. Never going employed. Always going to have my own business. And yeah, I can make as much money as I want, really. And
Yeah, well, we'll
yeah,
go on to that. We'll go on to that in a minute. But so May 22, you opened, and then I launched my business program in February 22, I believe. So when did you start watching or listening to a podcast? Were you in the dog grooming business help and support group? How did you find
yeah, I was in the group. I'd actually found your YouTube channel, which is your podcast, isn't it?
it?
And I started watching those. I think I started watching those when I was training as well.
Right.
So sort of just like on an evening and stuff, I just watched them and all the different people you were talking to, and I was like, oh, this is really interesting actually. Yeah, I'll make some notes on this. And then yeah, joined the Facebook groups, joined all the Facebook groups really, but this one is definitely the most like relevant. And yeah, just I've forgotten what the question was now.
What spurred you on or made you reach out to me to talk to
Oh
about the business
yeah,
program?
just seeing all the posts really that you were putting on about all these groomers and just how like nice time they're all having with with their business and how you you'd helped them to change their business for the better, and it was just like really inspiring, and it was like, oh, I want some of that, you know.
And I remember talking to you going through the sales call, and it was very much like, yeah, sounds great. And I almost like kind of fell off my chair going, okay, shall we sign you up then? And it was just like, yeah, let's go. And you know, whenever you're doing sales calls, you never know. As like when you do sales calls with, I don't know if you get it with pets these days, and you give a price and you talk to them, and then they're like, yeah, it's great, and you're like, did you just say that was good? Did you
Yeah.
just say like let's sign you up? And you're like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, okay.
That's easy.
Yeah, it was like you'd already decided that you wanted to get the help, and that you were going to join the program anyway.
Yeah, I think when you'd said, yeah, I can help you make that much money, and I can help you make it easier, I can help you do this, it was like, ah, okay then, that's good.
Yeah, you just say again. Let's go. Let's do it. So, so you joined our business program, and what do you enjoy about being part of the business program?
Oh, lots of things. I love being part of the whole community of people, and you know, the WhatsApp groups, and just like listening to people's wins. And I think it's like really motivational when you see all the different people talking about what they're doing in their business, and you know, you'll get little idea. I was actually talking to my husband about this the other day, and I was like, you know, we do the Zoom calls, and okay, I might not have a question, but I'll obviously just sit in and listen, and someone will just say something that they're going to do in their business, and then I'll be like, oh, do you know what, yeah, that's a great idea, I like that, and I'll just make a note of it. So I love just getting all the different ideas on how to just make it better, because I am one of those people who I just don't sit still. I have to just try and make it the best that I can be. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm so driven like that, but it annoys me sometimes, because I'm like, I just need to chill out a little bit, but I'm not. I'm always like, how can I make it better? How can I improve it? How can I do this? How can I do that? And I suppose there's a little bit of a worry because you don't want to change too much. But I'm one of those people, so I just love listening to other people's ideas. And
then certain mentors like Robin, I can tell, like you said about being driven, and Robin is our pricing mentor. So you came to us with probably low prices, didn't you? If you're charging sort of 35 pounds. And what is nice when we have people on the programs and you get to know each other and you get to know people, you start to understand what kind of triggers them, what drives them, and then you can sort of feed ideas in and sort of challenge people, and they're like, yeah, I'm going to do that. So Robin's very good with that when it comes to pricing. So I could see how you listen to Robin on his masterclasses or in his Q&As, and then just go, right, I'm doing that. And that's what you've done. You've taken that action, haven't you?
Yeah.
Do you find that sort of inspires you to still drive forwards?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. All of the Robin's pricing, and I'm sure a lot of the people on the program agree, you know, he's very just like inspirational. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And obviously the in-person training day we had in January, that was fantastic. So yeah, just get driven and just think, you know, if you've got a question, you can ask. I think that's brilliant. And do some role play or just get advice. And then, so yeah, okay, I'm gonna do this.
And did you find, so a lot of people join and they have, we need to do a lot of work on mindset. Did you find that were you fearful when sort of putting your prices up? Did you have that kind of mindset, or you quite a positive person?
Yeah, I was, well, see, because I was quite new when I started, I wasn't full. So I know that a lot of people in the program, you know, might have already been full. They've had their business for like 5-10 years or whatever it is. So then they're like, oh my God, I've got to put all my prices up. So for me, it was just trialing higher prices with new clients for me.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of, right, let's try this, let's see. And I was like, yeah, okay, they're booking it at this price, brilliant. Let's try a little bit more. Okay, we get some no's, that's fine. Let's just keep going. So yeah, for me, it was just more trialing the high prices of new clients.
Tell us about your no's, because you are confident. You come across very confident. You're a positive person, and you are just a positive person. But we've got to be honest, haven't we? There has been wobbles.
Oh yeah, there's been wobbles. Yeah,
there's been some wobbles, and I remember, you know, receiving messages from you going, it's all falling apart.
I
And
know,
you know,
so dramatic.
your business journey is can be at times a roller coaster,
Yeah,
and sometimes we just have to pick you up from your wobble and
yeah.
put you back on the tracks. So tell us about the
Yeah.
wobbles and what causes you to worry or wobble when it's
Um,
a lot of wobbles in there.
I know, I know. I do have wobble. I think, and I go overboard with it. But do you know what? I've done a lot of work on myself actually, and through the program too, of just having that mindset of it's going to be okay. Just chill out. I think that is my thing. I'm just always on the go. I always want to make it better. I do need to just stop and relax. But yeah, I had a wobble. Was it like September, October time last
October
year?
was
Yeah.
October was awesome. That was an awesome wobble because it was
Oh,
easy. It was so easy to sort out as
I
well.
know, it literally was. I was just like looking at the diary, and we'd had a few people leave because we'd done quite a substantial price increase. I mean, majority stayed, but quite a few people sort of left in 1 month, and it seemed to have all come at once, instead of dropping off. I was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? There's like no dogs booked in. We're not getting any new inquiries. It's just so quiet at the moment. But I don't know what to do because I'm still advertising. Maybe I need to pay for advertising. Oh, it's all gonna and I just had a massive wobble, and obviously I've got Drew to pay for, and I was like, I'm gonna pay Drew. How is that? Yeah, just what is going on with life? Yeah, panicked, reached out to you, and you just said, right, what's your target for, well, not what's your target, what's going to be your take-ins for October? And then I think I was like, oh, it's actually like my highest month.
October was your best month ever.
I know. And you were like, just look at that. And I was like, oh God, okay, yeah, I really do need to chill.
I think this is one of the issues when people come onto the program. Obviously, we do talk about prices a lot, and groomers put their prices up. And like you said, there can be some significant price increases. Dee joined us this week. Joined us on the Monday, came to a coaching call on the Tuesday, and up to prices by 25% on a Wednesday. I was like, you completed it, mate. Well done.
Amazing.
Right. Yeah. So there are some significant price increases, but groomers generally, and I think you'll find this, that we pack our diaries out, and
Mm-hmm.
that's like a symbol of, like, it's a badge of honor, isn't it? Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
busy. The diary's really busy.
Yeah.
But we're on that hamster wheel and potentially not earning the money that we want to. So when we put in our prices up and we're restructuring our business, and we'll come to how you've done it with your customers and stuff, because I think it's fantastic. All of a sudden, the diary's not as busy as they used
Yeah.
to, and that takes quite a lot of getting used to
Yeah.
having a cup of tea, having a lunch hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not used to this sort of stuff, are
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, because we were so busy in the summer, which is obviously why I took on Drew as well. So we were so busy, and still just getting all the inquiries and everything. And then it comes to like September, and I was like, right, I need to do this price increase. Like, this needs to start happening. Started doing that, and then yeah, it was just becoming out of their budget for some people. Then the gaps were just appearing, and I was like, oh my God, I've got so many gaps. And it probably wasn't even that many, but to me, I was like, this is too many. But now I'm so much better. Like, if we've got gaps in the diary, like, I'm fine with it. Like, I'm okay with it. And I remember like Robin saying, you shouldn't be working at full capacity anyway to
Yeah.
make profit. You need, I can't remember what the percentage was, like 75, 80% or
Yeah, I
something.
think it was
Yeah.
75% capacity.
So I do remember that. It's like in the back of my head, and I'm like, it's fine, okay, it's fine. Like, this week, I think we had like 2 spaces this week, and I was like, it's completely fine, because we're going to work on the business, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and it's fine. And I've got gaps then for meet and greets,
Yeah.
and nail trims, and we did have like 3 nail trims that rang last week. We managed to book them in the same day.
That's it, and that's great customer service as well, because they've got a problem that you're able to fix, and you're able to fix it there and then, or within that day. I mean, that's amazing service. If they're looking to maybe go to their local vet, then yes, they may get in that day, but potentially they're going to sit around their waiting room, with all the other poorly pets, or they're going to be pushed to further down in the week. So it gives you that availability and ability to do good stuff with them. What what sort of along with your pricing, because I don't want to be, I feel as I'm always concentrating on money, and I want to sort of, it's not just about the money, although the money's like great when you come onto the program, but what other sort of changes did you make to your business? Which does also lead to more money, but what other changes did you make to your business?
Um, I don't know. I just feel like loads. A lot of the mindset, definitely. Like having, like just having a positive mindset. And just like I suppose the different masterclasses as well that we've had, like all the things on, the branding, all the social media, just trying to make that as best as it can be.
Tell us about your boundaries that you've built with your customers and the way you deal with new customers.
Yeah, that's changed a lot actually, to be
Yeah.
fair. When I think back to it, definitely. Yeah, I like to have boundaries with clients, because I just think it's for the best interest in the dogs. Like, you've just got to be not well, I say strict, I probably am quite strict, but it's always for a good reason. Like, it's always for the welfare of the dogs. So, like they have to be on schedules. We don't take on dogs that are not on schedules. Even if it is like Labradors, pugs, like they still have to be on a schedule. We might push that to 10 weeks, that sort of thing. That's okay, but they have to be coming in regular. We don't do ad hoc grooms. If they want to be our client, then they have to be committed, and we'll be committed to them. Doodles, poodles, things like that, it's like 4 to 6 weeks. You're not going over 6 weeks. It's not happening. Because it's too hard work, and it's too hard work for the owners to maintain at home. And like we want to do the best for the dogs, really. And
how did you find you may have like struck a bit of fear into groomers there, going, what, we're dictating like how often the dogs come and saying no to them if they don't come. How did you like introduce those boundaries? I know you have scripts for sales calls. Is that part of your scripts? Is that part of your
is
I
now
call patter?
it wasn't at the start, but it is now. We do say to people on the phone, well, I mean, it's changed a lot, because before we would book dogs in, how everybody books dogs in, do the sales call, book the dog in for whenever. But now we are doing meet and greets or consultations for every dog that comes in. This is based on a few groomers in the program and what Robin was saying as well, and it's worked brilliantly. I mean, we've only started it from January, but still it has gone really well, because I want to meet that owner, I want to meet that dog, I want to make sure that we're a good fit, and that the dog's happy, and we want those clients like for life. We don't want the ad hoc, we don't want the groom hoppers, we don't want the people that are going, oh, how much for this? It's like, no. We're not talking about price until I've met your dog.
It's like your friend now, isn't it? I remember you being set a challenge. You were set a challenge, weren't you, on a coaching to go out and collect as many no's as you possibly can.
Yeah. No, I am fine with no's now. Absolutely fine with it. I didn't used to like it at the start, like everyone's like, I got a no for this, and now I'm like, oh, I get no's all the time. Well, not all the time, but like
Next, off to the next one. So when you have a question that many people ask is, you have a dog come in for a meet and treat, and they don't quite, they're a little bit like pushing back with the boundaries. They don't quite like what you're asking them to do. Like, oh, does it have to be every 6 weeks for my cockapoo? How would you say no to them?
It'd just be that's how we operate as a business. That's not our rules, but I suppose it is our rules. I kind of think of the word that we normally say. That's our process of our business. This is what we offer. This is how we can help you, and we just explain why we have them in on these schedules, and that we only take them on these schedules. It's the best for the dog. It also keeps them coming, like it keeps getting used to us. We can build a bond with that dog. We can make sure that the hair is as knot free as possible. Just sort of kind of sell it to them that way, really. Most people are really good and they go, yeah, that's fine. And actually we get a lot of people that want to like book in for the year, or they want to have their dog on the schedule, and we're like, brilliant, we want you then.
Yeah, and you got that you're by meeting them and bringing them into your salon, you've got that know, like, and you're building that know, like, and trust with you. They get to, I take it, they get to see the salon, and
Yeah.
whilst you're talking to them, they get to look around. Do you have
Yeah.
the dogs? Is Drew working on the dogs whilst you're doing the meet and greets?
Not at the moment. We are allocating about 15 minutes for the meet and greet. So she is also there as well, meeting them. And you might think, okay, well, you might be taking a little hit. But then I just remember what Robin says, and it's like you're taking that hit of 15 minutes, but then if you've got a dog for the next 10 years, or if it's an older dog, 5 years, 7 years, but they're coming every 6 weeks, then you're going to make that up rather than just doing ad hoc grooms.
Yeah, you're getting that commitment from your customer, aren't you? So
Yeah.
deposits, are you a fan of deposits? Do you take deposits from your clients?
Yeah, deposits have been, so I've always used top line from the start, and I would never go to paper ever. Like, it has been a godsend, because I think most people have respected the fact that they get the new pet form, they have the reminders, they've got the T's and C's that they have to sign before they come for the meet and greet. Now they have to even sign it. So I've forgotten what the question was now.
Deposits.
Oh, deposits. Okay, so obviously I didn't at the start, and then, but if I really look at the figures, we don't really hardly get any no-shows. We have had some, but honestly, it's really, really minimal. Most people are really good. A lot of people pay direct debit now anyway, so that helps. And then the regulars, they do show up. If they need to change appointments, they do try and give me about a week's notice, which is fine. I can work with that. But I did worry because I think we had 2 in November, maybe. And it was like in the same week. And then for me, my head just went, oh my God, we've had 2 in the same week. That's it.
The wobbles come in.
Oh yeah, the wobbles come in. What am I gonna do? Bearing in mind, I probably hadn't had one for like 3 months, 4 months at all.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? Maybe we need to start taking like rolling deposits. But it's tricky. I'm not taking deposits.
That's fine, but I think actually the reason why you're not getting the no-shows and you're not experiencing what maybe other groups are experiencing are because of the rules that you've put around your clients, but also how meticulous you are when selecting your clients and selecting you. You know, you're offering like high quality professional pet grooming at a high price compared to probably a lot of people around you. They've got to be committed to you, and it sounds like that you're getting that commitment because your clear rules and boundaries. You're demanding that commitment from them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think they're really respectful. That they know that we do a good job. We take care of their dogs. They love seeing them on social media. That's a big hit for a lot of our clients, and that we use the Instagram and Facebook. And I think they're really happy. We know, we don't change appointments hardly ever. Sometimes you can't help it and you may have to change an appointment for whatever reason, but we do try and stick to it, so they're not ever getting messed around. I just think they're really respectful.
And I think something else that people will get from this conversation is how much I don't know if control, but how much your business, your numbers. Like, how many no-shows have I had? How many no's have I had? How many clients have I signed up? What's my income for the month? You work on your business all the time. So and this helps with that mindset, because if you've got an issue, well, you can see whether it is an issue or not, because you know your statistics and you analyze your business all the time.
Yeah, I do.
Work on your business.
Yeah, I do. I'm always, and the top line actually is really good because it's got all the report functions. I probably go on there once a day and have a look at what's happening, what the figures are.
And then the next part of that is that you're open to changing and trying new things.
Yeah.
If you do the same thing and you get the same result.
Yeah, exactly.
We change it up, don't we?
Yeah, 100%.
So talk to us a little bit about your pricing now, if you're happy to. Like, you started off quite low. You had an ambitious target of 30,000 within year 2. How much sort of price increases have you put through?
probably put through 2 substantial ones. No, actually, no. We've probably done 1 substantial one, which was like September, October time. But this year, I've also started to increase dogs as well. That I think, no, we need to be putting an increase on these dogs, which has probably been most of them, to be honest. So I suppose it is another increase. But this year it's gone really well, actually. Really, it depends. If I think I made such a substantial one last year, that I've kept them the same for this year. But if it's a dog where I think, no, we need to increase them.
When you say substantial, what sort of can you
like sort of like 20-30% increase.
What's that in monetary? Let's go for the old cockapoo.
Oh my God, what did I start cockatoos? Cockatoos were probably like 44 or something when I first started. But now they're like minimum of 60.
Minimum 60. And I remember that day.
New ones are 65. But yeah, minimum. All of them now are 60.
I remember that day when you came, I think you put into the group, right, that's it. They're all going up. all cockapoos are going up. They're starting from 65. And you will do this. You will just go, right, I've had enough. everyone's price is increasing. You just increase them overnight, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I do, yeah. It's like Cocker Spaniels. They were probably like similar price. They're all 60 now, all of them. But they've been happy to pay them, or especially all the existing ones. We've booked some new ones in with those as well. So that's good. Yeah, I think I get to the end of the day and I think I put in rules for the business. So I'll say, right, no, like only 2 poos a day. That is maximum. We are not doing any more. Oh, sorry, Sandy. Doodles or poos. We're doing 2 a day. That's it. Like, because they're hard work.
They are hard work.
No.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone sympathizes with that. So you talked about Drew a minute ago. Tell us about your journey into employment and within a year of opening your business, you've taken on an apprentice. What inspired you to do that?
Yeah, I think I was just getting really, really busy. And I was thinking, well, we've got the space, we've got the room. Obviously, I used to be a teacher. Let's see if I can get someone to come and help like expand the business, really. So then I think I'd asked you and a few other people on the programme who've got apprentices how to go down the route of it. I think I watched the videos back on like Neat and or the apprenticeship providers, and then just looked into taking someone on.
And how did you do that process? Did you have lots of applicants? Did Drew sort of stand out from the beginning? Did you do
no, she didn't actually. She's probably going to watch this and think,
yeah, sorry, Drew. Drew, don't worry. Nissa always sings your praises. Don't worry.
No, I think I got like 45 applicants.
Wow.
There was loads. I was like, oh my goodness, this is like, whew. Where did that was just through the Keats website, I think, advertising, but I had to put it on Facebook, and I don't think I got any from Facebook. I got people's mums messaging me on Facebook.
Red flag.
That was an instant nope, not even replying. So then I narrowed it, went through obviously everybody's applications, looked at about 8 to bring to an interview. I asked one of my old TAs to come down as to be like another like neutral person, just to get her feedback. Also she could write down notes while I'm asking the questions, which was a godsend. So that was nice. And then one person didn't show, but the others did all show. Mm-hmm. But then obviously you get a feeling, don't you, when you meet them and you start asking them questions and what do you know about the business, and then they go nothing, and you're like, oh, what do you know about the
website? Have you looked at the website? No, didn't know you had a website. Oh, okay.
Yeah. What do you know about what we do? And they're like, you groom dogs? I'm like, anything else? So yeah, and then I narrowed it down to 3 to do a trial day with. So obviously Drew was part of one of those. And then she was the best.
So what you did, so I take it, did you bring them into your salon for a sit down interview first, or was it?
Yes, they were all in the salon. Yeah.
was that, a half an hour? Was it an hour's grilling? Did you have a spotlight on them?
No, no,
Did you
no.
did you bring your dog in to see how they reacted and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
how they
yeah. I did. I
stroked your
forgot
dog?
for the first one. I forgot about and I thought, oh, I didn't bring the dog in. And then I thought from like the second person onwards, I'd alternated it between like Luna and Sandy and just, yeah, saw how they reacted with the dogs. And Drew was definitely the best with the dogs.
So what were you looking for? Like how they greeted the dog? Were they relaxed around it? Did they just sit there?
Mm.
Were they like, oh my God?
Yeah, yeah. Well, there was a couple of people that weren't really, yeah, interested, and you just think, oh, we work with dogs all day, like you
Yeah.
can't, yeah,
That is actually, and I've sort of thought about that. It's a really good tactic, isn't it? If you've got your own dogs and you bring in someone in for an interview, to have your dog in that room
yeah,
and just pick up on how they react to it and what they do.
yeah, absolutely, definitely, like good advice. Are they going to sort of like greet the dog? If the dog's really, because like Luna's quite excited, but Sandy gets excited and he jumps up, which isn't great because he's a greyhound. So I do have to tell him to get down. But yeah, just seeing, how they are they fussing them or are they just shying away or not looking at them or a bit.
Yeah, are they shoving their faces into their dog's face and stuff like that? So
I think Drew actually kissed Sandy and I thought, oh, I think Kate noticed that and she went, oh, that was sweet.
yeah. And what kind of so questions were based around what do you want to achieve? What do you know about our business, that sort of stuff?
Yeah, lots of things about what you know about dog grooming. Why do you want to be a dog groomer? Oh God, I gotta think back now. Would you be interested in cat grooming in the future? That was a question.
Nice.
Yeah, like why do you want to work here? And just yeah, finding
So,
out.
and then what did you do with the trial? The people how many progressed through the interview and to a trial?
It was just going to be two, but I decided to trial three.
Okay.
But it was just a day trial, which I know you probably should do it a bit longer than that, really. But I did a day with them. And then they basically just came in the salon while I had clients' dogs and yeah, just seeing how they were really. Were they being proactive? Were they asking questions? Were they getting involved? Did they pick up the broom? Yeah, did they pick up any mess? Were they just, really interested in it? And
I
yeah, just
suppose, I suppose also, are they just are they chatty? Are they sociable? Because at the end of the day, you're probably going to spend more time with them than you might with some of your family. So
yeah, exactly. You've got to get on with them, haven't you?
yeah, yeah. So how did Drew stick out? How did Drew stand out from the others?
Yeah, she was really good with the dogs. She was really good at engaging with the dogs when they came in. And I remember I had a new dog in, and I said to her, "This is a new dog, and I don't know how they're going to be." And I think she said something like, "Oh, great." She was like, "Oh, we'll find out together." And I was like, "That I like that. That's nice how you've said that, actually." And then yeah, but she was really good. She was really good at asking questions. She was happy to just pick up the broom, start sweeping. Yeah, I think I had a cleaning some of the equipment, and yeah, we just got on really well as well. So
And obviously Drew was successful. She must be coming to the end of her apprenticeship.
yeah, she's about 9 months in at the end of this month. Yeah, she'll be about 9 months in.
I'll take it she's enjoying it.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. She tells
Hope
me.
so.
Yeah.
What are your plans? What are your plans after the apprenticeship? Like looking to obviously hopefully keep Drew on and build her skills up to a level 3.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. We want to obviously do the cat grooming
Yeah.
and start adding it onto our business. She's really good with the cats. She's better than me with the cats, actually, just because she's more used to them than I am. But yeah, and just sort of, yeah, just building up her skills. She wants to do the level 3. Possibly, maybe we can do that through iPad, the fast track.
Mm-hmm.
Get her the level 3 qualification, and yeah, just
Can you
keep going.
see sort of light at the end of the tunnel where you can be on holiday and Cloud Canine is still open and operating?
Yeah, yeah.
Is there space for another apprentice in there, or is it just going to be you and one other?
There is. I think it would be a little bit tight. we could make it work, but then I'm like, do I want 3 dogs? Oh, I suppose we have 3 dogs, if it's 2 dogs and one dog comes in. I don't know. I've got to think about it, really. I've got to really think about it. And then it would be, do we actually move to a shop? I do
Right.
like home, but like I've not shut that door. That door's still a
Well,
little
when
bit.
you describe yourself as always wanting to move forwards, but
Yeah.
you've invested a lot of other people's money into your business,
No.
which is good. But you've invested money into that building at the bottom of the garden, which can always be converted into something else. But is there a shop? Is there a shop on the horizon at some point? That's an interesting.
Haven't looked into it. Husband's quite like, oh, you should get a shop. Keeps talking to me about getting shops, and he keeps saying, well, you could do the cats from home and you could have the dogs. You can still have that home and services, but you could have a shop and you could be doing this and you could be doing that. And then I'm like, oh, do I want loads of stuff?
Has he kind of like he's obviously been watching you grow and watching your business grow. Has he kind of become more inspired and more enthusiastic about it as he's seen that, oh, okay, Nissa's making a real success of this?
Yeah. I keep telling him to come on board, and he can do the sales calls and everything.
What's he said to that?
Um, he's like, oh, he'd be really good at it. But he's like, oh, I'd have to take a wage drop, and I'm like, oh, you won't have to take a wage drop. He seems to think that I can't pay him or something. I don't know what it is. I don't know what his mindset is.
Yeah, I do understand that because I often, people at work used to say to me, "Are you going to go and join A to Z Animal Care?" And I had that same fear. I was very institutionalized into being employed, so maybe he feels a bit of the same around that. But then obviously I had my eyes opened with self-employment and stuff. But there is, putting all your eggs in one basket. But like you said, you could become a phenomenal, powerful sort of team together, couldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. We could do. So and he keeps saying about, oh, what about a shop? So I'm like, oh, you can come work with me, you can be the receptionist.
You can do the nails and the
Yeah,
baths.
you can do all that. You can do the sales calls because he'd be really good at that.
Yeah. Well, so what are your plans for 2024 then? How are you moving your business forward?
So we are going to come and do the cat grooming, the training with your wife Emma
Yeah.
in May. So that's going to be good. So then we can start really. We've taken notes of all the cat inquiries that we've had so far. We've got their names and numbers. So we've got a little book full starting with that so that we can call those people and get them booked in. Obviously we do offer the nail trims now at the moment. So we're going to be, so we're doing cats. I want to be hitting a new monthly target as well. So daily target,
You going to share that?
daily target. Yeah, so I want to be doing 450 a day, Monday to Thursday.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know what the monthly is now.
That's a bit of quick maths there, isn't it?
Yeah.
450 a day. And
Is it 6? I had
so
it written down on my iPad.
that's all right.
But I'm
450
using
a
that now.
day, 4 days a week. That's £1,800 a week over 48 weeks. So that's wow, Nissa, that's 86,000. So that's 7,200 a month.
Mm.
There's a question. What are your thoughts and feelings around the VAT then?
I don't know anything about it. Totally honest.
It needs to start coming onto your radar. If you start hitting your new target, 7,200, you're gonna, with the introduction of cats, you're gonna start smashing that. So I would have said
Yeah.
that will go up to sort of 8,000 a month. That's VAT, you're very
It's
quickly,
insane, isn't it, really?
yeah. So we'll work on that. But
Yeah,
it's
you
having
will
that,
have to help me with that.
it's having that having that knowledge that it's on the horizon and it's something that you're working to,
Yeah,
So
that's it. Yeah, we're not there yet, but like you say, with the introduction of cats, and we are redecorating the salon in March as well. So and we're getting a professional photographer in as well to get some really nice shots of the business, so we can then promote. We can do some more sort of like marketing, get some videos on the website as well. That would be good. So
what would you say to people that they'd say, why, Nissa, you're doing so well, you're obviously making the money that you want to. Why do you carry on marketing? How do you have time to do all this marketing? Why do you do it?
Because if you stop, now I did stop for a bit when I was super busy in like spring, summer year, when it was getting really busy. I did stop because I was like, God, I've got no time, and I didn't have Drew at this time either. And then you do notice a few months later, you notice that actually your inquiries will drop off a bit, and you won't have as many photos, you won't have as much like engagement on Google and social media and stuff. So if you do stop, it will have a negative effect on your business. So I look at it like that, is you can't stop. You have to keep, I'm not saying post like 5 times a day, but you do have to keep it engaged. Yeah, because like I speak to friends and stuff, and they, if they're looking for service-based businesses, and they're like, well, I won't book with someone that doesn't post on social media, at least once a week. I don't want to see something that was posted like 2 years ago.
That's like, interesting, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's interesting getting into other people's mindsets and seeing how they would find a service provider, and what they're looking for within a business. Now, I get quite a bit of feedback and pushback from people saying, I don't need a website, I don't need an Instagram, I don't need TikTok, I just have a thing from word of mouth. And that's fine. And I often just think, are you shaking your head then?
Oh, no.
I just think, okay, yes, you do get referrals from word of mouth, but what about all the people you're missing?
Yeah.
What about all the people you don't catch because you're just relying on that word of mouth?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. I think you've got to have as much as possible. Like, was it? I never remember the number. 7 4 11 4 7 11.
That's an American shop, isn't it? 7-Eleven, but 70. No, so I work off a sales figure of 70-10 too, but it's
like 4 locations, isn't it? Robin, I bet Robin's like, God's
keep talking and I'll Google it.
Yeah, so like having your business in everyone's faces, basically, isn't it? Like everything, like Facebook, Instagram, like you say, Google, having flyers in the local like pub. Well, I've got them in the 3 local pubs. Having them in like shops. I've teamed up with a daycare place, and I'm about to team up with a dog hydrotherapy place that's just opened in the village. Nice. They gave me a phone call the other day, so that was really interesting. So I need to go and do a leaflet drop to them when I've had to reprint some more. So yeah, I just think, John was telling me about something. He was like, oh, you could have it there's like a dog field as well, but obviously you'd have to speak to the council about having something up there.
Yeah. So it's also thinking outside, doing your traditional stuff, but then also thinking about thinking outside the box as well, isn't it? Like now start and again, I think this comes back to your branding and your, how you present your business, but you're now building like relationships with other businesses that are going to become referral points for you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really nice. But you definitely need a website, 100%. Anyone who says you don't need a website, like, because if I'm looking for a business, like I've needed an electrician, and it's like, oh, well, if you don't have a website, like I can't really see what you do. So yeah, like referrals are really good, and word of mouth, of course it is, and we have lots of those, but we also do get a lot of people that go, I've been on your website, really like the sound of your hydro bath.
Yeah, that's it. It's 7-11-4.
Yeah, that's it. I knew it was something like that.
Yeah, so like they should see you in sort of 7 places, have 11 touch points, and over 4 platforms. There's lots of training around it, isn't it? But yeah, I've always gone that you need to be everywhere for everyone. One person might find you on Instagram, go to your website and then book in. One person might find you on Facebook and book in. They might find you on Google, read your reviews, go to your Facebook page, read your reviews, then book in. It's just having all those marketing assets out there.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So, as you said, you like to keep things fresh and you always want to be pushing on. You're doing the cat grooming, your apprentice is coming to the end and it's going to become a full-time employment. How, I suppose the spa treatments and things that you offer and the teeth cleaning and the nail trims, that helps you to keep your day-to-day running of your business nice and fresh and different.
Yeah, definitely. We do. I speak to a few different groomers, and they just say, "Oh, all we do all day is cockapoos and cavapoos and cock spaniels, and that's all we do." And like, I love the fact that we do have so many different dogs. We have a real variety of dogs that we do, and then we can offer different treatments for them as well. Like really liking the Ayurveda that we've really started pushing. We've done it on a golden, which worked, and we got such good feedback from the owner who wants to have it every time now.
Wow.
One person watched the video that I made on the Ayurveda, and she messaged me and she said, my collie, and it's a collie we've done before, can we look at having this treatment for him? Said, yeah, that's absolutely fine. So yeah, and then you can offer like the de-shedding mud and checking their teeth, and then offering the teeth cleaning.
How's teeth cleaning working for you? Is it a good service? Are people buying?
Yeah, no, it is good. We've had quite a few. I'd say this year we've had quite a lot of inquiries for teeth, just from not necessarily grooming clients, but new people saying, my groomer doesn't offer teeth cleaning, but you do. So yeah, we get them in for a trial session, 20 minutes, see how they'll cope with the toothbrush, toothpaste, being on the table, having their mouths touched and all those sorts of things. And then, yeah, we can then put them in for a deep clean and then get them onto maintenance sessions.
And there'll be people listening to this going, how do you have all the time to do all this? The videos and the meet and treats, the sales calls, but it's an obvious reason why you've got all the time to do this, and that's because your prices are high.
Yeah, because our day isn't completely chock a block 10 dogs in a day. Like, we do 6 dogs a day. Like, and I know people will do 6 dogs on their own, and they'll say, and some people will go, I'll do 8 dogs on my own, but I'm not that person. Like,
No,
we to give a really good quality. Like, if it's just me on my own, I will do 3 dogs on my own. That's it. I won't do any more. And they might be with teeth. And I might do a nail clip, or a teeth cleaning trial in there. But I mean, groom wise, 3 dogs.
yeah.
Because I just want to give a good quality. I do not hate being rushed. I hate rushing dogs. And it's just like, we'll do 6 grooms with or without teeth. And I'm happy with that. So then we have got a few spaces. We might have a space right at the end. Say the last dog's finished at 4:30. Well, then, we've got some time to do a meet and greet then.
And so, higher prices gives you that time to offer that better service, to do your marketing, and hopefully, you went into teaching, you probably thought, I'm going to do a 30-year career, and obviously that didn't work out. Hopefully, you'll come into dog grooming and you're going to have a sustainable career in dog grooming and have the business for as long as you want to.
I hope so, yeah. Yeah.
Without all the joint issues and the burnout.
I know. People do ask me about my back. They say, how's your back? I said, my back's all right, but I find it's my hands sometimes, with the clippers. But I just have to take breaks. If I can feel it starting to ache, I'll just, I hope I don't get that carpal tunnel, but I don't know. Probably all get that, don't they?
You'll build a team around that, I'm sure, if need be.
Yeah, but it's nice. It's nice to have just the nail clips and the teeth and the stuff like that, because you're not using your equipment as such, are you? Like, so it's nice to have that break and do those bits.
So what would you say to the naysayers, or maybe ex-colleagues who thought you're crazy going into self-employment, or the economy's a bit dodgy, cost of living crisis out there, how are you going to afford your mortgage and stuff like that? What would your sort of comeback be, or what would you say? How would you reassure?
Yeah, I'll just say, like, if you don't try, you're never going to know, are you? And I think you've just got to follow your dream. And I think you've just got to do something in life that you love doing and that you really enjoy and you're really happy with. And if you really love it, you'll make it work. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't really love teaching. I'm not going to make it work. And what's the point in just being unhappy in your job? What is the point in your, like, there's no point to life. So you've got to be happy, and you've got to have work-life balance.
That's it. And as you've proven, you've invested a lot of money into your business, but you're certainly reaping the rewards as well.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna redecorate, get a big extractor fan above the bath. So that's costing quite a bit of money, but it's fine. I've saved up for it. It's in a separate pot. Yeah, it's fine.
If you've got any teacher friends that are listening or might listen to this, how much more extra are you making?
What, a year?
Yeah.
So probably this year, I don't know, maybe at least 15,000 more than what I left on.
Wow. So you're looking at 50K.
And less time as well, because you've got to think, like, teaching, you're probably earning less than minimum wage for the amount of hours you actually do.
Yeah. So 50K,
yeah.
working 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And being happy.
And by the end of the year, I'm hoping it should be more than 50K. If we can start getting that target in, and we can start doing the cats.
It's just amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you ever think
crazy?
Did you ever think it would be like this?
No, I thought I'd just be like earning, I don't know, just the bog standard wage, 5 days. I thought I'd be happy, because I like doing it.
Yeah.
So I thought, but no, I didn't. No, I didn't think I'd be 4 days a week. I did not think that at all.
Goals.
Yeah.
Such goals. Well, I've taken up loads of your time, and I'm so thankful for you agreeing to come on, doing this live, and then going onto the podcast. And I really hope that you'd be confident enough to share this podcast with your teacher friends as well. And the reason why is because, as you know, there's a lot of unhappy workers out there in the public sector, and I have the same from where I came from within the police service. And I hope that you share it with them, just to show them and inspire them to go and follow their dreams like you have.
Yeah.
And show them that it's possible. And I'm sure you have inspired many, like, pet groomers that listen to this going forward as well, as to, when you put the work in, you invest in your business, put the time in, you can have a business that you really, really want.
Yeah, I will share it. I've just got to be brave. You just got to go for it. If you don't go for it, no one will.
That's it. Well, thank you very much for your time. I encourage people to go and check out your Facebook page, Cloud K9 Professional Grooming.
Thank you.
I share it with many people I talk to, like, as an example of like the branding and the look and what you sort of we strive to achieve on the program and stuff. So thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye.